A woman lay in the emergency room after being taken in unconscious from a sudden pain in her shoulder and upper chest. Her transportation from the small rural community took 20 minutes, and the time seemed too great for the aneurysm that burst on her aorta. The doctors watched the monitor for a sign of life. The heart monitor registered a flat rate, and they covered her body as they pronounced her dead. For some reason, no one has disconnected the heart monitor, but they left her lay as they went to tell the family that she's passed. Within 10 minutes after the ambulance took her, a dear family friend heard of the emergency and ran home to telephone friends in her church prayer group. By the time they began, another 15 minutes elapsed. At the time the prayer started, the family physician on duty at the hospital walked past the body and saw a blip on the heart monitor screen. He called for nurses and doctors, and ultimately the woman lived. The aneurysm burst and bled into her heart sac, slowing the heart's rhythm to a deadly slow rate. Now, what caused the physician to be there at her bedside at that instant? Was the prayer group responsible for the one last beat of the dying heart? No one knows for sure, but her family believes this miracle of body and circumstance came from the prayer. Prayer, an age-old method of healing, has been studied for years. Most of the studies are too personal and anecdotal to be of any use. Just like the woman in the emergency room, too many times coincidence, the possibility of spontaneous healing, or the power of suggestion could explain the healing phenomena. One study, however, followed remote healing of strangers. The people that received the prayer had no idea that they were involved, and those sending their prayers did not know those patients. A second, almost identical group of patients were used as a control group and received no prayer. There was a significant difference in the recovery time of those that received prayer, and more in the group prayed for had a complete recovery with no complications. Prayer is not the only technique that uses the human essence to transfer wellness. Other methods include Reiki, quantum touch, Qigong, aura cleansing, and the age-old laying on of hands. All of these techniques use the transfer of energy or unblock the energy of the body, while those involved in religion attribute the healing from prayer to God. Labeling the phenomena to the life force of those that do the praying doesn't detract from that belief, but simply studies the mechanics. Quantum touch is a modern laying on of hands, the use of one person's chi to start the flow of another's. Because of the use of stimulation to the life force, it resembles the healing of yogis and Qigong practitioners. It uses the energy of the healer amplified with breathing exercises to create energy fields around the individual and unblock the life force by synchronizing it with theirs. Reiki also uses intervention techniques to unblock the life force of the recipient. The difference is that Reiki, instead of using the energy of the healer that puts in the energy, the individual receiving the healing draws the energy from the healer and participates in the process. Aura cleansing is the first step in aura healing. It doesn't need to touch the healer. It doesn't need the touch of the healer, but may take place in salt water, in the sun, or with the aid of a healer to remove the debris from the aura after the patient is grounded. The healers often use stones of various colors to unblock chakras and improve the flow of energy to major chakra areas. There is still limited study on the benefits of any of the techniques, but the fact that they all use a form of energy transfer and come from many different areas of the globe speaks volumes about the potential man has to perform miracles with the energy they have inside.
Conrad Raw is an expert in practical techniques for personal and spiritual development. He is the author of Forbidden Secrets of Personal and Energetic Development. Visit his website for a free newsletter filled with tons of great tips and advice. www.conradra.com www.greaterhumanpotential.com.